put that their heart was pounding, and mine is coming through my suit as well, because this is a very important issue. I have looked at the original intent. I've looked at the amendment, and I'm a little bit appalled. And I'm a little bit appalled that folks would suggest that a last-minute amendment, oh, they're all shocked and dismayed, when everyone in this House knows that that's business as usual. So that shouldn't be the reason why they reject something of this magnitude. I will say this. 2002, the good senator from the North who just spoke before me spoke about his position in 2002. I'll say this. As an African-American male, and as my colleague from Senate District 11 spoke earlier about African-American, not an interracial marriage and dating, those such things were prohibited some time ago. When my father, my parents divorced a long time ago, and my father remarried. I have 6 half-sisters because my stepmom was white. Is because my father's passed away, but was white. And I have 7 mixed siblings as a result of it, all sisters. All 7 of them care very, very deeply for. And saw those struggles and saw the struggles of decades ago, my father marrying someone of a different race. And here we are, 2013, many, many, many years ago, and we're still talking about equality. We're still talking about something that we shouldn't really be talking about anymore. I said in committee that people should mind their business and allow people to do what they want to do. It's unfortunate that we are making this a partisan issue because it's not partisan. As I began to say a moment ago, I'm 44 years old. I have a daughter. I'm black. I'm gay. I have dealt with a lot of what folks are talking about. And I know some of you are first time hearing me say that, that I am a black gay male. But being that, I have had the opportunity, and just recently, to hear people who didn't know that say stuff. I've heard them say something about this bill. I've heard them say stuff about folks that I love and care deeply for. I look at my campaign team. I look at how I get here and how I got here. Very dedicated folks, but they're people that's connected to me. And I've heard some people say some nasty, ugly things because they didn't know that. And they said some things in my presence. I haven't said much, and for people that know me well, for me not to say something takes a lot of constraint. And so to hear what I'm hearing and knowing the respect that I have for a lot of people, and had a constituent say to me a few years ago when I voted for domestic partnership that she wasn't going to vote for me anymore because I was pretty much dumbing down her marriage. And I heard my colleague from District 13 a minute ago, 13, a minute ago saying that this does nothing to hamper her marriage. And I say that because some people really, really have this thing in their head, if marriage equality is passed, it somehow interrupts their marriage. She said to me that, and she said she wasn't voting for me anymore. And I told her, if this somehow interrupts your marriage, then your marriage was in trouble in the first place. And so I encourage my colleagues, again, don't think I'm going to say anything that's going to sway any of them, But at the end of the day, people say, we're saying that we're sending this to the voters. People are saying that they know that the voters are going to vote their way. I had my other colleague mention what happened in 2002 when it was on the ballot, and we had to collect signatures. Again, we're moving the target. I mean, that's not what this is about today. We're sending it back to the voters. And if people are that concerned or that worried that the voters are going to approve it, because I think that's what it's about. Because if you wouldn't be worried about it. Let it go there, let it go down, let it go to defeat, and then we don't have an issue. But the fact is, people are concerned that the voters have changed their mind and that we have an entirely different demographic, and that it will pass. And so I say send it there and let them do it.
I'll read this quick article basically explaining this whole scenario. What you have here, who was speaking, is Kelvin, I think his name's Atkinson. He's a Democrat of Las Vegas. He officially came out as a gay man. Huffington Post, another homosexual coming out to tell the world his sexual orientation, as if I care. But it is what it is. I am a black gay man. Oh, I'm black, I'm gay, he said in what the Las Vegas Sun describes as a trembling voice. I know this is the first time many of you have heard me say this, but I'm black, gay male. I'm a black gay male. The vote to repeal the ban on gay marriage passed in the Senate by 12-9, paving the way for the status of the ban to be determined by the Nevada voters in 2016. While it has first passed through the heavily Democratic Assembly, it is seen that Nevada is on the verge of realizing marriage equality. That is the fact that the divide both Republican and Democrat members of the Senate. Las Vegas Sun has more to say. I don't know if I'll be allowed in church on Sunday, says Republican says Senator Rubin, a Catholic whose more progressive girlfriend often berated him for resisting the gay marriage rights. He ultimately voted in favor for the SJR 13. So, this is what I understand. Okay, a couple months ago, you had the Republican whose son was gay, and he all of a sudden had an epiphany to change his opinion on the situation because of his son. To me, and the fact his son had always been gay, and he knew he was gay, yet he perfectly timed it to change, upcoming election year, what have you. I just think it's odd that all these politicians just all of a sudden changing their mind on gay marriage issues. It's like either you were that way or you weren't. You don't just change your opinion on situations like that, in my opinion. But this guy says that his girlfriend berated him. So basically the shaming tactics worked in this scenario where his girlfriend kept saying, you need to support gay marriage. You need to support gay marriage. And apparently he did. So it's his girlfriend that changed his mind. The Republican that did it, it was his son coming out that made him change his mind. I don't know. Then you have Senator Justice Jones, a Mormon. He says his gay brother-in-law eats Sunday at church, and he couldn't bring himself to vote against extending him marriage rights, despite a threat from one of the earliest proponents of the gay marriage ban. So he, a Mormon, was against the gay marriage ban, and it was his brother-in-law, who he sees every Sunday at church. So you got gay Mormons too. He made him change his mind. So I guess that's why leftist-minded people will say things like, make it personal. What if that was your family member? Because apparently that works. Making it personal about your family members is enough to make you change your ideology on certain issues. So you go from one day believing the definition of marriage to stand as it is, and because one of your relatives is gay, your girlfriend or your son or your brother-in-law, they're gay, so now you want to say, oh, never mind, that was just, I'm wrong, it's over. And then you have another one. Here it says, this is what he said. He said, I would rather lose an election than overlook my brother-in-law that I see in the eye every Sunday and tell him he doesn't have the same rights as I do, Jones said. Now, Senator Joe Harley, another Mormon, damn, there's a lot of Mormons in the political office, took a different tack, saying marriage is ordained of God and that such relationships perpetuates beyond the grave. Oh, I do not believe this measure will strengthen the family and the foundation unity of society, he said. Senator Mark Hudson, also a Mormon, another Mormon, offers to paint those who oppose gay marriage as intolerant. Now, the author of this article points out, about a year ago, this was a view of the President of the United States. Hutchinson said, President Barack Obama's initial opposition to gay marriage on religious grounds. I do not recall his supporters labeling him intolerant or insensitive or hypocritical or unenlightened. He had different views than others back then. And therein lies the question. So, how is it that Barack and the Man-John-in-Chief and Hillary both said that they believe that marriage stands as it is defined on religious grounds? Both of them said that in 2007.
Marriage. I believe that marriage is the union between a man and a woman. Now, for me as a Christian, it's also a sacred union. God's in the mix.
You support civil unions.
I do.
But not gay marriage. And why?
Well, I am very much in favor of civil unions with full equality of benefits, and I want to see that developed as we move forward. I want to make that happen with federal benefits. There are a lot of federal benefits that people in long-term committed relationships don't have access to, and I want to make that happen. So I consider that this issue is one where we can agree on equality of benefits and work toward that. And then we have a lot of other work to do. I'm very much in favor of ending Don't Ask, Don't Tell, because I don't think it's worked. It has driven a lot of people out of our military. And, you know, other countries have gone much further, Israel, Great Britain, and others, and have had great success with letting people serve openly. If you are willing to serve your country and you're a patriot, you ought to be permitted to do that without lying about who you are. And so I'm in favor of that. I want to end discrimination against gays and lesbians, and we haven't gotten that passed yet.
Do you think it would be possible for someone to run and openly say, I support gay marriage, and win? Do you think that's even possible?
You know, I don't know. I mean, I had the same position for years, and so I don't know what somebody could or couldn't do, but I've always believed that marriage should be left to the states, because that's where it's always been. The states have determined age of marriage, other conditions, and over time we've gotten rid of a lot of the discrimination that used to exist in marriage laws, and that's now happening.
As you see, the question has been asked, you know, how is it possible that, you know, Joe Biden, Hillary, the Man-John-in-Chief, they all opposed gay marriage. They supported the civil unions, they supported a lot of the other things, but when it comes to the definition of marriage, they all opposed it when they were doing their debates, yet they did not get any of the demonization, they didn't get any of the criticism that most conservative politicians did. So how does that work? Like, I don't understand the logic in that, where, you know, for conservatives to come out against that, they're quickly labeled as bigoted, closed-minded, they're taking away our rights, things of that nature. Yet, how is it that these liberals still elected the gay community overwhelmingly supported Joe Biden, Hillary, and Barack? Yet, you know, and now Hillary has come out because the implication she might want to run in 2016. So she had to come out now campaigning just in case she might run and hop on the gay bandwagon, even though they all in 2007, 2008 opposed it. Why did they get a pass when every conservative politician who says this is how their values, their views, we don't want to redefine the definition of marriage? How does that work? I have yet to see an answer for that question.
Joe Biden Biden and Barack Obama, who said they thought marriage is between a man and a
Joe
woman. Where are the
Biden and
protests
Barack
there?
Obama did not put money into Prop 8. That's why
they
they're...
put their mouths.
No, it does matter because people did...
Why aren't they protesting against Joe Biden and Barack Obama, who said they thought marriage is between a man and a woman?
They voted their heart.
Why are they specifically protesting at some churches? You know, the Mormon churches. Why are they specifically? Why aren't they protesting against Joe Biden and Barack Obama, who said? Why are they specifically protesting at some churches? You know, the Mormon churches. Why are they specifically? Why aren't they protesting against Joe Biden and Barack Obama, who said they thought marriage is between a man and a
Joe
woman? Where are the
Biden and
protests
Barack
there?
Obama did not put money into Prop 8. That's why they're...
They put their mouths.
No, it does matter because people did church and state, the separation of church and...
There'll probably never be an answer for that question anyways. She didn't answer the question. But, you know, I did a video a year ago. The man John Chief came out and supported gay marriage. But I did a video almost the exact date a year before that where I asked a question because in the media it was a lot of propaganda saying that black people were homophobic and why do they have such an issue with the gay right issue. A lot of Rachel Madcow disease was upset with black voters in California because they largely opposed the Prop 8 position. And, you know, there was a lot of commentary in the media about blacks and the homosexual agenda. So, I had posed a question, like, of course, if you have common sense, you know that the man John Chief has always supported homosexual marriage. He supported it when he was senator, and he ran the first time, then he went against it, then he was for it again, then he was against it when he ran for president, then of course he came out for it again. But, you know, I posed the question anyways, you know, what effect would it have on black voters had he just come out and endorsed it? And a year later, after that video, to the day almost, he did, and it didn't have any effect. Some churches, you know, a lot of black clergy, especially in, you had Al Sharpton and all those dudes coming out for gay marriage, Jesse Jackson, you had Michael Eric Dyson, all these so-called preachers, and I guess black representatives, leaders, they're not mine, but it is what it is. But you had all these people coming out for it, even though blacks had been perceived as being the biggest homophobics in America. And, you know, nothing changed. Like, just one of the silly things I've heard from most black liberal Christians was the President Obama's not the preacher of the United States, he's the president. Yet, so apparently, you know, their faith, you know, black Christians, doesn't matter to them when it comes to political ideology. A party that opposes or takes on positions that go against their values or their faith are irrelevant according to black Christians. That's standard, but it is what it is. But I did that video to ask the question because I knew back then that he was pro-gay marriage. Yet I posed that question in that video. You should check it out. You know, what would happen had he just come out for it? Would he lose support? And he didn't lose support. So again, it was a minimum, but you had more support politically. You had more black representatives, like I said, the Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson. You had, and a lot of different churches came out, the Episcopalian Church, a lot of different organizations came out in support after the man John Chief had a change of heart, which he never had a change of heart on. Well, so basically it says that Aiken announced on the Senate floor that he's black and he's gay or whatever, and now it says that this dude is now the 5th openly LBG member of the Nevada legislature. So they got 5 openly gay members of their in going on in Nevada. Damn. Senator David Perkins, Patricia Spearman, James Haley, and Andrew Martin. They got 5 on it. So they have 5 legislators. One is an assemblyman. James is an assemblyman. But they have 5 legislators already in Nevada that are about that homosexual life. So it's only going to get, I see they're gaining a lot of ground, political-wise. There's a lot of them in politics. So I guess there will be repercussions for that. I mean, if you look at right now, Boston legalized gay marriage, and just not even on the basis of just whether you oppose it or not, but just looking at what has changed in the city, from not just the education, a lot of things have to be redefined. The legal system is a lot of work. A lot of things have changed. I'm gonna leave a link in the description box of what it will cost the state to actually validate marriage between same-sex couples. It's not, just the idea of it being legal. It's a lot attached to that, not just on a moral level, but a social level and a political level. It has legally has a lot of effects too. But yeah, another brother coming out. This dude has a daughter too, so I don't know. I noticed that a lot of these gay men have children. I don't know how that is, like biological children, but it is what it is.
I have a daughter. I'm black. I'm gay. I have dealt with a lot of what folks are talking about, and I know some of you are the first time hearing me say that I am a black gay male. But being that, I have had the opportunity, and just recently, to hear people who didn't know that